Everybody take their seats before we start this morning. This is the third morning, the third plenary. We started on Monday with more of the political client plenary, and yesterday we were emphasizing trends in computing, hardware and software, and how we can with those advances, integrate more of the multi-scale, bringing real meteorology into the winds. And today we're going to extend that. We have two plenary keynote speakers today, and these are applications of where understanding the real winds is important, and how we're advancing our modeling on those aspects. And then there'll be a panel on that topic. But first, announcements. I know everyone's not in here, but if you're a student poster presenter, in particular, please spend as much time by your poster today, especially as much as you can during the breaks. I think it's easy. You can grab some snack and still be by your poster. And at lunch, the second half of the lunch period, once you're done eating, try to be by your poster. And the same thing this afternoon. We want to evaluate the posters, and there'll be an award given out to the first and runner-up student poster. And I'll say this again, when we break after this plenary, I'd like the student poster presenters to come down front. Now, what I said also applies to the regular poster people. Try to be by your posters today. This is the day to try to get as much interaction as you can. That's this morning's announcement. Don't forget the banquet tonight. Our first keynote speaker today is Fernando Porte-Egel. He's from the University of Minnesota and also in transition to the EPFL in Switzerland. And he's going to talk about his work with wind turbines.
Okay, well, good morning. Thank you very much, Alan, for inviting me. Thank you, everybody, for coming, especially this early in the morning. I'm going to talk about some of our recent efforts to simulate atmospheric boundary layer turbulence and the interaction with wind turbines and wind farms. I want to acknowledge the work of my research group, in particular Yutin Wu, Leonardo Chamorro, and Hao Lu, who have done most of the actual work. As you probably know, wind energy has become the fastest growing source of renewable energy in the world. This figure just shows the time evolution of installed wind power capacity in the last few years. You can see the very fast overall growth. You can also see how the US just became the largest wind energy market, barely passing Germany, that has been leading for a long time. And we expect this to continue for a few years. If you think, for example, like in the US, there are targets to reach 20% of electricity being produced from wind power, which is much higher than the current levels, which are below 2%. So we expect a large growth in the few years. Another interesting trend is the growth in the size and power of the wind turbines. If you look at that trend, in the mid-80s, we had the largest turbines were about 20-meter rotor diameter with a capacity of about 100 kilowatts. These days, you have turbines of over 5 megawatts and over 120, 125 meters rotor diameter. So these machines are really large. They are really expensive. We are talking about several $millions each of them. So it becomes quite important to understand what is the optimum location where to place them in the landscape. As you can imagine, this is not a trivial task. We all work with atmospheric boundary layer flows, so we know how difficult it is to predict the spatial and temporal variability of this environment. And not only that, usually when they are put in the landscape, they are put in wind farms in large groups. This is, of course, because of an economy of scales issue. And in that situation, you start to have interferences. You start to have waking effects from one turbine to the downwind ones. So what I'm going to present now is a framework, computational fluid dynamics framework, in particular large eddy simulation framework, to basically try to predict not only the boundary layer flow, but the interaction with wind turbines and wind farms. Okay? This will have applications, as you can imagine, for the optimization of the design of wind farms, the layout of wind farms, for example. The idea here will be to try to maximize energy output and also minimize negative effects of high turbulence levels. In particular, this could affect the structural stability of the turbines. There are